Good morning, happy Tuesday, happy chilly Tuesday where I am. Definite drop in temperature overnight, a beautiful, cold, clear, crisp morning. We are coming up to probably one of the biggest dates of the year, one of the most important astrological movements, but also something that is really ushering in a brand new energy for us. So it's 16th, and on the 20th, which is Saturday, Pluto, she who is the dark goddess of transformation, moves into the sign of Aquarius, the celestial star weaver, and this really ushers in a totally new age for us all. Last year there was a brief flirtation between March and June where Pluto just tipped into Aquarius to give us a feel of what the energies are like, and this time round she's going to be in Aquarius for 9 months, a little dip back between September and November, but she's really moving forward now. We're really deeply connecting into the power of transformation. So while Pluto has been in Capricorn, it has been about top-down control, patriarchal structures, and we're now seeing the old falling away. It feels like this kind of death portal of the 3D matrix is taking a long time, but in reality it hasn't really, has it? You know, it's only been 4 years, and time is but a human concept in the whole kind of cosmos, in the galactic timeline. It's incredibly rapid. So just as we start to move into this new age, we're moving into a totally different energy. And the message that was deeply coming through this morning is, as we shift, as we tip into Aquarius, we are reminded to look back on all the times when Pluto was previously in Aquarius. And for me, there were 3 things that really stood out. Firstly, the last time it was the French Revolution, the American Civil War. Then going back a little further in time, it was the Reformation. A bit further back in time, and Copernicus, created his amazing creations, looking at heliocentric rather than the geocentric cosmos. But then going back even further, and big up to some of our favourite women in British history, it was the time when Boudica rebelled against the Romans, and she so nearly won. And for many of us walking this path, for many women particularly, Boudica is such a strong archetype that we all want to emulate. So I was really thinking about this rebellion, this revolutionary energy that we are going to experience. And the messages were deeply coming through definitely from my galactic team this morning, and a few other people who were stepping forward, is that this rebellion, this revolution has to be different. We can't be like Boudica. We can't ride our chariots with daggers outside the wheels, and charge into a Roman legion. We can't take sides and go and fight a bloody war of independence. We can't have a civil war of internal unrest and discomfort where we are bringing forward aspects of freedom, liberty, fraternity, liberation, freedom of speech, but then going and turning upon ourselves. And that's what happened in the French Revolution. You agree with us? Great, let's have a revolution. And then it went one step further. You don't agree with us, so you're going to be removed, totally taking away aspects of freedom of speech. And for those of you who know your history a lot better, you can fill me in on where I've gone wrong. But the most important thing is that I'm trying to say is that these revolutions, these rebellions, have been very 3D. They have been about slicing and dicing your victims. They have been about executing those people who haven't followed your diktats. They have been about persecution of people who don't follow the new ways of being. Think back to the Reformation in the UK. We totally switched religions. We went from a Catholic country to a Protestant country and yo-yoed back and forth with huge amounts of persecution from both sides. This new era the rebellion that we have to take part in if we choose to, the revolution is going to be very, very different. And this for me has been coming through over the past year and a half, but it's really, really strong now as we tip into the age of Aquarius, and that is that revolution and rebellion has to come from your heart. It has to come from a place of love. It has to bubble up inside you so that you change, so that you influence the external. But more importantly, the revolution, the rebellion isn't about picking up a firearm. It isn't about a war. It isn't about a war of words. It isn't a battle, however you perceive a battle to be. It's simply by leading from your heart. It is turning round to a situation and going, no, that's not my truth and I'm not partaking. That's it. That's all we have to do. We have to lead from our heart, and that is so difficult because we see the war, we see the revolution around us all the time. That we lead from our hearts and we say, no more, and we live from our hearts. So this revolution, this rebellion is going to be very, very different. It's going to be an internal job first and then an external job, but we must remember to stay in peace. We must remember to stay in our heart center, and it is that just simply saying no. No is a complete sentence, and you have every right to say no and to not conform, to not comply. So really sit with that over the next few days, because that's where we're heading. Are you going to be a heart-led leader? Are you going to be a heart-led rebel? Are you going to lead a revolution based on heart energy, or are you going to fall back into the tricks of the 3D matrix and pick up something and cause violence, whether it's through actions or through words? This is what we're being asked to do over the next 20 years, is to do it totally differently, to bring in the highest possible aspect of Aquarius being in, of Pluto being in Aquarius, this Aquarian age. So just before I finish, they've asked just to bring through a few words of light language just to prepare us for this huge transition. Hiola surla eka rote karite surla eka ekorlita. Ie surata kurete eka isukre eka yarata. Ikola yaro kasa. Ikora kusurla eka rosika yarta. Kuraka huku ukai rota ai kurosika. Itukava ekum sarate eka. Iturate kai rote kai yarosoka. Ikora kai yarta. Kai la kota rosoka yarate karoteka. Ikurade ku arsuka ikurade eka isumpara tisola kateya yosoka ikola eka. And as that's coming through, it's really easing our transition into this new age. It's reminding us to be in that peaceful space, and there's a huge amount of joy, because this is truly the time where we can tip. We can really change the way that we live, that we work, that we interact with others. It's a huge new turning. It's a generational shift, and there's going to be many of us, light worker starseeds, call us what you will. We are really stepping up and moving forward. So I'm wishing you a really brilliant day. Every moment of every day, just think, how are you going to lead from your heart? Are you going to be the living example of this embodiment of this beautiful Aquarian frequency that is coming through? Or are you going to move back into that third dimensional matrix? So a huge week ahead. All my focus is going to be on this Pluto going into Aquarius, because that really feels like where we all need to be sending deeply positive energy at the moment as we navigate this what is becoming an ever endless January. So I am sending you so much love. If it resonates, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to comment below. So until Thursday, sending you so much love. Take care.